And Sophie Cunningham did not back down at all.
On that same
Let's check this out right here.
On that same vein, in that story with ESPN, you talked about wanting to protect young girls who shouldn't have to go against biological men. Just can you expand your viewpoint on that?
I mean, I think I said what I said. I think it's kind of common sense. And I think I'll always believe in that. I think it's really important to protect children. And that's little girls who are also involved in that category. And so I stand on what I said, and I always believe that.
Yeah,
Before the Indiana Fever even stepped onto the court, the biggest story of the night wasn't about basketball. All eyes were on Sophie Cunningham after her recent comments about protecting women's sports sparked intense debate across social media. When reporters asked if she wanted to expand on her remarks, many expected her to soften her stance or avoid the topic altogether. Instead, Cunningham delivered a calm and confident response, saying she stood by what she had already said and believed it was important to protect children in girls' sports. Her answer immediately reignited the conversation online, with supporters praising her for standing firm while critics continued to challenge her views. As the reactions spread across sports media, the spotlight on the Fever grew even brighter. But once the opening tip arrived, the focus had to shift from headlines to basketball, and with Caitlin Clark returning to top form and Indiana looking to build momentum, fans were about to witness a performance that would quickly change the conversation from pre-game controversy to what happened on the court. Once the game tipped off, Indiana wasted no time taking complete control. From the opening possessions, the Fever played with confidence, pushing the pace and moving the ball with purpose while Connecticut struggled to keep up. Every trip down the floor seemed to create another quality scoring opportunity, and the offense looked sharper than it had in weeks. Caitlin Clark orchestrated the attack with her trademark vision. Aaliyah Boston dominated inside, and Kelsey Mitchell provided timely scoring whenever the Sun tried to respond. By halftime, Indiana had piled up an incredible 70 points, the highest first-half total in franchise history, leaving fans stunned by the team's explosive performance. It wasn't just the number of points that stood out, but the way the Fever were playing together, showing chemistry, energy, and confidence that suggested this team could be turning a corner at exactly the right time. As the game settled in, Caitlin Clark reminded everyone why she's one of the most dangerous players in the WNBA. She wasn't just knocking down deep three-pointers, she was controlling every aspect of Indiana's offense. Whether she was attacking the basket for a floater, finding an open teammate with a perfect pass, or pulling up from long range, Clark played with complete confidence from start to finish. She finished with an outstanding 27 points and 11 assists, but the numbers only told part of the story. Several teammates missed open shots created by her passing, meaning her assist total could have been even higher. Every possession seemed to run through Clark, and with each basket and play she made, it became clear that Connecticut had no answer for her. By the end of the night, she hadn't just led the Fever to a dominant win. She had delivered another performance that strengthened her case as one of the league's most impactful stars. Just when it looked like Indiana was completely in control, another moment grabbed everyone's attention. During a physical sequence against the Connecticut Sun, Caitlin Clark exchanged words with an opposing player, prompting the officials to issue double technical fouls. The call immediately became one of the biggest talking points of the game because it marked Clark's 7th technical foul of the season, leaving her just one away from an automatic suspension under league rules. Fans quickly questioned whether the officials had made the right decision, with many arguing that the situation didn't deserve matching technicals. Even as the debate spread across social media, Clark refused to let the moment affect her play. She stayed focused, continued running the offense, and helped Indiana maintain its commanding lead, proving that even controversy couldn't take her out of rhythm. While Caitlin Clark grabbed most of the headlines, this victory was truly a complete team effort. Aaliyah Boston dominated the paint on both ends of the floor, finishing efficiently around the basket while adding rebounds, assists, and several key defensive plays that kept Connecticut from building any momentum. Kelsey Mitchell also stepped up with another strong scoring performance, but what stood out most was her all-around game, contributing with rebounds, ball movement, and timely plays whenever the Fever needed them. Together, Clark, Boston, and Mitchell formed a powerful trio that overwhelmed the Sun from the opening quarter to the final buzzer. Their chemistry looked stronger than ever, And with each player making an impact in different ways, Indiana showed exactly why many believe this team has the talent to compete with the league's best if they can continue playing at this level. While Caitlin Clark's scoring grabbed most of the headlines, her playmaking may have been the most impressive part of her performance. Every time she brought the ball up the floor, Connecticut's defense faced an impossible decision. Step up to stop her deep three-point shooting, and she'd thread a perfect pass to an open teammate. Stay back to protect the paint, and she'd confidently pull up from long range. Clark consistently read the defense one step ahead, delivering pinpoint passes that created easy scoring opportunities throughout the game. She officially finished with 11 assists, but that number could have been much higher if several open shots had fallen. Her vision, timing, and ability to control the pace kept Indiana's offense moving from start to finish, preventing Connecticut from ever settling into a defensive rhythm. More importantly, Clark made everyone around her better. Whether it was finding Aaliyah Boston inside, setting up Kelsey Mitchell on the perimeter, or pushing the ball in transition, she turned ordinary possessions into high-quality scoring chances. Performances like this remind everyone that Clark isn't simply an elite scorer. She's one of the league's smartest playmakers and one of the biggest reasons Indiana's offense looks so dangerous when she's healthy. By the time the second half began, it was becoming clear that this wasn't just another regular season win. Indiana wasn't simply beating Connecticut. They were making a statement to the rest of the WNBA. The Fever never took their foot off the gas, continuing to move the ball, defend with energy, and execute on both ends of the floor even after building a comfortable lead. Every player seemed locked into the game plan, showing the kind of chemistry and confidence that had been missing earlier in the season. Caitlin Clark continued controlling the offense without forcing difficult shots. Aaliyah Boston dominated the paint with efficient scoring and physical defense, while Kelsey Mitchell delivered timely baskets whenever Connecticut tried to spark a comeback. Instead of relying on one superstar performance alone, Indiana looked like a complete basketball team, with every key player contributing in meaningful ways. That balance is exactly what successful teams need as the playoff race begins to heat up. If the Fever continue playing with this level of discipline and confidence, they won't just be fighting for wins. They could become a team that nobody wants to face during the final stretch of the season. Another dominant night naturally sparked a conversation that has been growing louder with every game. Should Caitlin Clark now be viewed as a legitimate MVP candidate? Earlier in the season, injuries slowed her momentum and kept that discussion relatively quiet. But now, as she continues putting together complete performances, it's becoming increasingly difficult to ignore her impact. Against Connecticut, Clark once again showed why she's one of the league's most valuable players, combining efficient scoring with elite playmaking and strong leadership throughout the game. She didn't just put up impressive numbers. She completely controlled the flow of the contest and made life easier for every teammate around her. The Fever also continue looking like a far more dangerous team whenever Clark is healthy and playing with confidence, which only strengthens her value. Of course, the season is far from over and tougher opponents still lie ahead. But if she keeps producing games like this while Indiana continues climbing the standings, the MVP conversation may shift from asking whether she belongs in it to debating whether she should be considered one of the favorites. When the final buzzer sounded, everyone knew this had been far more than just another win on Indiana's schedule. The night featured nearly every storyline imaginable, from Sophie Cunningham's widely discussed pre-game comments to Caitlin Clark's outstanding all-around performance, the controversial technical foul, and a record-setting offensive display that showcased the Fever's growing confidence. What started as an evening filled with off-court headlines quickly turned into one of Indiana's most complete performances of the season. Clark once again proved why she remains one of the biggest stars in the WNBA, while Boston and Mitchell demonstrated that this team has far more than just one weapon. Most importantly, the Fever looked connected, confident, and capable of competing with anyone when all three stars are playing at a high level. If this performance is a preview of what's ahead, Indiana could become one of the league's most dangerous teams during the second half of the season. One game doesn't decide a championship, but nights like this send a powerful message. The Fever are building momentum. Caitlin Clark is finding her rhythm, and the rest of the WNBA will undoubtedly be watching very closely to see what happens next.